that you were serving under?
The generals?
Yeah.
As far as I know, pretty good. But there's an article here. After I agreed to make a presentation in Orangeburg, this article appeared in the paper. I'm going to just summarize it. It's very interesting. It says, how World War II wasn't won. Now, what do they say in this article? They say that the 7th Army, of which I was a member, 36th Division, was in the 7th Army. Not in Italy, but in France. Was at the Rhine River. And that the commanding general of that army wanted to cross the river. And he would be in Germany, and it would have ended the war very quickly. But General Eisenhower, who later became president, he didn't like this general. And he told him, you're not going to cross the Rhine. He refused to give his okay. And we never did cross. And then what happened? The Battle of the Bulge occurred, and we lost about 80,000 men. But the conjecture is, had they gotten along and agreed, it could have shortened the war, according to this article. And it's all the, I'll show it to you in the picture. Yeah, read it. Very interesting. And he didn't like, Eisenhower allegedly didn't like this general because he was a prim teetotaler. You can interpret that any way you want. He didn't drink. And that was it. It's all in there. I didn't write it, so that was it. But it could have possibly shortened the war, and we would have saved 80,000 lives.
What did you do in your free time, if you had any?
What
did you do in your free time?
You mean in the army?
Yeah, if you had any.
Yeah, the free time after combat or during combat, etc. Just sleep. If you could sleep, it was a luxury. If you could possibly read something, it was a luxury. Like getting a magazine. Or the army had a newspaper called Stars and Stripes. And sometimes you would get copies. Yeah. And at night, of course, you couldn't have any light. So you could not read at night or anything.
How did you feel when you heard about the bombings that were taking place in London during the war?
In London?
Yeah.
Well, terrible thing.
Did your camp have anything to do with going over there and helping them, or?
No, well, I knew I would be drafted. See, and I tried to prepare for it in this way. A friend of mine called Freddie Friedman. He said, let's join the New York State Home Guard. See, every state has a guard unit called the National Guard. But during World War II, the National Guards of every state was federalized. They went into the army. So the state had no unit, no force in case of an emergency. So they established a home guard. So Freddie and I joined this home guard. And unfortunately, my friend Freddie, he died. Got killed. In World War II, you lost a lot of people who were friends of yours. On one block, I lost four friends. One block. In the Bronx, I lost four friends. So that was it.
I was wondering if you could tell us about this.
Oh, that's what about it?
What was it for?
Well, it's first of all the blue medal. It's not a medal. It's presented to any soldier who was under enemy fire. And it's worn, if you were still in the Army, it's worn on the topmost portion of your chest. Top. This is, what's it, a star? Well, no, there's an arrowhead. You see it? That stands for you participated in an invasion. And this is a star, but this is a silver, but it's not the Silver Star medal. It stands for 5 campaigns. And this is a decoration for, how old was it? Got my name. My name? Yeah. This was presented after I came home. So I have an idea why I got it, but I'm not certain. And it's not even on my discharge papers. It was mailed to me, and that was it.
How did you feel about the bombing of Pearl Harbor?
Oh, terrible, terrible. I mean, we knew we would be in war. In fact, when it happened the next day, I was in high school. You know, we were called into the assembly, and the principal spoke. And we already had a student who graduated like a year in front of us. And he got killed in Pearl Harbor, and he was a very good athlete in Taiwan. So we all knew that we would end up going to war, and that was it. No questions asked. We were a very patriotic country. In fact, my daughter, who was here, she once said to me, "Why didn't you go to Canada and avoid the, you know?" I said, "Nobody in World War II ever did that, to my knowledge. It was our country, and we were very patriotic. We did our duty." There was only one soldier who actually was killed by a firing squad for desertion. And I had a very distant relative who was on the board that convicted him. And that's the only time that a soldier of the United States was killed by a firing squad for desertion.